Hey YouTube, today we are going to be watching a couple replays from Daniel and Beastmode. And in this first one, we're going to watch from Beastmode's perspective. And the reason why we're going to be watching Daniel and Beastmode 2v2 is because Shift just released that Daniel is considering joining version 1 in place of Torment. Specifically, they say that they are in talks, version 1 and Space Station, and getting Daniel over to version 1 in place of Torment. Now, I think this is something that a lot of people were probably expecting. If you haven't been keeping up with Daniel and Beastmode, anytime there are any 2v2 tournaments going on, Daniel and Beastmode have always been teaming for them and dominating in them. They truly have looked unmatched in terms of North American competition in their 2v2 tournaments, which has led to a lot of people speculating that they would join each other's team in the coming splits. Now, I had the opinion that they would be on each other's team eventually before the end of the year. This was before version 1 and Space Station missed the major. I don't know if you guys know, but Beastmode's team version 1 and Daniel's team, Space Station Gaming, both did not finish in the top 5 and did not make the major. And I think that accelerated this trade between the two. If either one of the teams with Daniel saving Beastmode's shot, but Beastmode able to follow it up. If either one of these teams had done well and made the major and then maybe even played well at the major, I think there's a chance that they could not move around, not want to make that kind of wave. But with both these teams not performing as well as they both would like to, it is no surprise that they are now planning to team up. The big question is, can they get away with it? It's something that I'm very interested in knowing the behind the scenes of. Maybe we'll get to find out as time goes on. It might be revealed. But if you're Space Station Gaming, you're holding on to one of the best prodigies. Damn, Beastmode just barely tapping that to steal the gold. But if you're Space Station Gaming, you're holding on to one of the best prodigies in the world right now. And he's only 16 years old. He's playing as one of the best players in North America, everyone says, despite his team not performing as well. And giving up Daniel could be something that is really, really hard to replace. So a conventional sports team would die than rather give up Daniel. But the way Rocket League has worked recently, and to be fair, some other big sports leagues like the NBA have almost started to work similarly, where a top player wants to move and they get to go pretty much wherever they want. And that's definitely what's happening here. Space Station is certainly going to try and hold on to Daniel. At the very least, they're probably going to make version 1 pay a good amount of money in order to get Daniel, because Space Station doesn't get anything out of this. This isn't like a trade where you hand over a top player for picks, or something like that. It is purely just going to be giving away what is their best asset and a player that, for all we know, is keeping them relevant even close to the top 5. Maybe without Daniel, they won't be up there. Maybe they'll do better, but I don't think that's something that anybody's expecting. I think a lot of people see Daniel as a carry on that team. So it was just some news that I wanted to cover. Maybe we can watch a couple games between Beastmode and Daniel to see how it goes between them. Another interesting twist to all of this, if you have been keeping track with the RLCS, you might have noticed I said Torment is planned to be replaced, which is interesting because last split, Calm was looking to get replaced. This is a great shot from Beastmode. I actually think this leads to a forfeit. Yeah, a 4-0 after a shot like that. So we're going to go to the second game. I'll keep up my train of thought, and we'll watch from Daniel's perspective. As I was saying before, right before the end of the splits, version 1 was looking to add Rise onto version 1 in replacement of Calm. It was going to be Torment, Beastmode, and Rise. That fell through, but instead of just going right back to the original roster, they looked around for one last roster change that wasn't fully reported on. We just knew they were looking for someone, and I think a lot of people theorized that someone was probably Daniel, considering Beastmode and Daniel had been teaming up so much in the off seasons and in 2v2 tournaments, and it's very clear they wanted to team. In that case, it was assumed that it would have been Torment, Beastmode, and Daniel, whereas this time around, it's great team play from the opposition, whereas this time around, it's going to be Beastmode, Daniel, and Calm, if the Shift reporting is to be believed, which is an interesting switch-up. Don't know what happened behind the scenes that led to Torment or Calm being the one to go with. I don't think this is something that players think about, but it is worth noting that Calm is 3 years younger than Torment. I think, in general, esports is growing older and older, or specifically Rocket League esports is growing older and older as it becomes more viable to be a pro player for longer. Torment's been around for a really long time, so he's probably not your average, 22-year-old Rocket League player. But I think the oldest that someone has ever been to win the World Championship is 22, and that was Maestro or something back in Season 3. So that is towards the end of the top competing age range. I think the world is hoping that age range moves up higher, and a lot of these top players, Torment would be actually a great example of a player who should be able to stick around considering he's been playing for so long. There's no reason why it should be the end just because he's reaching the young age of 22. But it could be relevant, something that they're thinking about in terms of the longevity of their team, but probably not. I have a feeling that players don't really look at that. They just look and see who they feel is the best or who they feel, fits in nicely. I don't think they're worried about any players' ages, but for whatever reason, they might have switched to Calm. I don't know if Beastmode's making decisions for that behind the scenes, but another thing that we know that these two want is they want to finish the trio. The trio of North American Rocket League, the essential super team, which is Beastmode, Daniel, and First Killer. A lot of players have those three as the three best players in North America and have been waiting for their opportunity to team together. So do you think that this squad is holding on to their third just for a brief time? Are they looking for First Killer? Would First Killer want to leave FaZe? Because right now FaZe is playing really well. And of course, if FaZe were to win the major, then there's no reason why they would switch up, or even if they played well at all. Having made the major already, probably enough to not have FaZe switch anything up. They won the last two regionals. But could we see the Beastmode, Daniel, First Killer squad in the future? It definitely seems like something that is looming over. We thought the Beastmode Daniel one was looming over, and that one is starting to come to fruition. But even without those guys, I'm interested to hear what you guys think will be this team's ceiling or this expected performance. Will they be a FaZe and Gen G in the next split? We saw FaZe winning 2 regionals, Gen G won the major, and the first regional of this split. Obviously the two best teams. Does Beastmode and Daniel and Calm become a top team? Do they fight with those guys? Do they take over, or are they still just going to be where they were before, trying to work their way into the top 5 in order to actually make majors in the first place? I'm not sure which one it's going to be. I would think that everybody in general expects them to be maybe the third best team. I don't know if they'd still think G2, Dig, and Complexity. Maybe Complexity might still be the third best team, depending on who you ask, from North America right now. So I think one thing we can all agree on is it'll be very exciting. It's an experiment that people have been wanting ever since these two have dominated together. And we'll see if it works out with an extra player on the field as opposed to just 2v2, because there is, of course, no question that this 2's team is next level. So right now, we have Daniel and Beastmode locked head-to-head in this 2v2. Haven't been able to break out. There's been a few nice team plays that we haven't fully been focusing on just because we've been talking about Daniel and Beastmode and what that might mean for their RLCS. But for the last minute here, we can lock in to how these two are playing together. It seems like they've been playing very carefree, which is a weird way to put it, but I think we saw at the beginning of the first game Daniel saving Beastmode's shot almost intentionally, and a lot of them just cheating up and looking for fun stuff to hit. I don't think they're too worried about their 2's rank in these contexts. Not to just give them excuses for why they're losing. These players could beat Beastmode and Daniel, but that is an important part of being RLCS teammates as well. I think having somebody that you feel so confident with that you don't mind having fun and looking for fun clips and rank together, having just well-oiled teams and well-respected teammates is great for the culture. And it looks like it's actually going to go to overtime. Beastmode pops one. The shot's on target. Okay. Daniel does keep it from going in, but it will stay in the air. Is Beastmode going to keep it up? Little pass to Daniel. Catch. The air dribble. The Daniel special. Puts it off the backboard. Beastmode is around to finish it. Wait, the pass back and forth. Look at this team play. I did not know it ended this way. But this is actually an amazing end at 0 seconds. We'll just watch the whole sequence again. I will watch it from Beast Mode's perspective to give us a slightly different read on it all. I don't want to go that far back, though. Just from 0 seconds. This is what you can expect to see. If you're waiting for this duo in RLCS, this is what we're going to get. Top tier play, not letting the ball fall to the ground. Reppy had a chance to put it on the ground right there and decided to just shoot it on net. This is what he got in turn. Looks like Beastmode was maybe thinking about bumping there for a second, and he actually pushed him onto the back wall because he did that. 0 boost the whole way, but he didn't need any. Just pops it back up to Daniel, and they win at 0 seconds. So Beastmode and Daniel, will they be playing under the version 1 banner? It seems like they will be if everything works out, and I'm excited to see what this duo can do.